Get him, shawty, get him, shawty, get him, shawty, get him.
I live from the Better Than Beast. It's your boy Gravity
and the infamous Ray Boogie.
And today we're gonna talk about how technology has changed relationships. And we're talking about relationships, we're talking about business, romantically, friendships, etc., etc. With all that said, Boogie, I got a question for you. When it comes to just on a romance tip, meeting people for the first time, it's just like there's so many sites that people are just meeting on the internet rather than just walking up to somebody and saying, "What's up? How you doing? My name is such and such." I mean, what do you think about that on that aspect of it, from that angle?
It's changed everything in terms of, I mean, think about when you and I were younger. Mm-hmm. There was no such thing as catfished.
Nah.
You know? We didn't even know what that term was until MTV really made the show about being catfished. But it's a lot of catfishing going on out here. And it doesn't have to really be to the extreme of you're presenting yourself as somebody that's not even you and using someone else's pictures. You just got filters and angles and all kinds of things. Like the ultimate shot for women is this one. Because you can't really tell the body proportions when you're doing that downward angle shot. Or you go on these dating sites and every shot's shoulders up.
It could be whoever they want to be.
You know? Yeah, it's changed a lot, man. I know that you have these personas that people take on online, and now you really don't know if that's really them. You have to take time to get to know people. We've gotten to feel as though we're getting to know people through the phone. Through the phone.
FaceTime even.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say let's go on a FaceTime date.
People have online relationships nowadays.
Yes, they do.
They're only in a relationship online with these individuals. They spend more time communicating online than they do face to face.
So I got another question for you. When you say online relationships, so what if someone is over here and they're actually in a physical relationship, but they're online with someone else? You think that's cheating? Because one person said that ain't. So what do you think about that? You got an online relationship with somebody in, I don't know, Venezuela or some shit. You don't even know who this person is, but you've been talking back and forth to this person, doing all types of stuff on the internet, on your computer with this person for months now. I'm
gonna say cheating is defined within the parameters of the rules of that particular relationship. Okay. Now, let me elaborate. Okay. If you are open and honest and upfront and you're saying, hey, I go to this website and I'm communicating with these people and maybe it's chat rooms or whatever it is, and your mate knows about it, that's not cheating.
So pretty much anything that they know about ain't cheating.
Right.
Okay.
Now, if you have to sneak and you have to hide and you have to do it and you know that if they find out they're going to get upset, then you are cheating. Okay. All right.
So flip that. So what about you're in a relationship with someone and back in the days you had to show them things like let me go out and buy some candy and roses or, you know, be romantic. But nowadays people feel like if they text you roses and a smiley face with damn heart eyes, shorty good, we good. We're good enough.
I don't know. That's a question for a woman.
We need to get a female's comment on that because a lot of these guys out here think that that's good enough. So I need y'all to comment on that and see, and then we're gonna bring some. We got some females about to come on the panel in a couple weeks, and we're gonna pose them questions as well. But my thing is, you know, would that work for you from a female? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just talking enough? Or another one coincide with that, family relationships. When back in the days when you go to have dinner, ain't no phones around. Might be that TV could be right there. You might be in a restaurant and TVs might be around, but the whole time we're interacting, we're talking. But now you go out, everyone's on their cell phone, ain't nobody talking across that table.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's changed a lot between how families communicate. I know for a fact there are people who text other people in the same house because maybe they don't feel like going upstairs, but they know their child has their phone. So they'll text their child because that's easier than screaming up the stairs like, hey, Billy or Sue, come down here and do whatever. They might just know, well, I know they got their phone. Hey, dinner's ready.
Mm-hmm. So,
or we're about to leave. Depending upon how big your house is, that might be easier for you to do.
Okay.
You know, so I think that's changed. And then man-woman relationships in terms of the expectation for being accessible. Accessibility is something that now it's like, well, don't you have your phone? Why didn't you answer your phone? Whereas our parents, our dads never got into a argument about how come I couldn't reach you all day? Because, you know, I wasn't walking around with a phone on me. Exactly. I'm at work.
You were very...
You just had to know, I'll talk to you when the day is over. Or you just had to know, there was no texting, emails, there wasn't all these ways to communicate. It's like we have so many ways to communicate now because of technology that it's causing more miscommunication than communication.
Yeah, exactly. You're more accessible. So it's kind of like when someone texts me and I know I have a very thorough long answer before things get misconstrued, I pick up the phone and call.
Yes.
So, but what about the people who text you, and then when you pick up the phone to call them, they don't answer?
Yeah. But that leads me to another thing. Like, I had to let my daughter know, you can't text me and say, I'm with Auntie Neen. You can't text me and say, I'm gonna go do XYZ. If you don't get a confirmation back from me, then that means it's not been approved.
Right.
So when I question you and be like, well, what if you go somewhere and I didn't know? Well, I texted you. You're assuming that I'm just looking at my phone and paying attention to that text in that very moment. No, that is insufficient. Call me. Hear my voice. And if you do text, then you need to wait till you get a return text, or you need to presume that daddy did not see it because he didn't respond.
So you know what? Let's flip to the youth, right? The youth, their the technology when it comes to their friendships. All right, so we take all of these things that we're on nowadays, all these social medias, and they say when it comes to the social medias are really hurting the females more than it's hurting the males. And they said it's because of guys, all they see is the phone. They're like, oh man, video games. So they're still getting their relationships. They're still on the game with their friends. They still doing everything. But they saying when females are on it, they're doing comparisons. So they're on it, they're looking at social media and they're posting something. They're like, why ain't getting that many likes? Or they're up there and they're saying, well, I don't look like this or I don't look like that. And then it goes into the social bullying. And that's why they're saying it's spiked up. Males are committing suicide 25% more. But females are up 75% more. Wow. From social media bullying. And it's all on, like we said, the social media is all around these relationships, it's technology. So all of this is good in ways. What do you think about that negative side, that bad side?
I think we are living in a modern day matrix. And what I mean by that is, you know, in the movie The Matrix, they go to the payphone and they get in the phone and they're in the matrix. Well, we're now in the cell phone. You know what I'm saying? So you go into the fake reality, the fake world. When you get on Instagram, that's fake. When you get on Facebook, that's fake. When you get on Twitter, that's fake. These are real people, but they're creating a facade or a fake world or an illusion, AKA a la The Matrix, via social media. And how do they get us, Graf? Through the phone.
Yes.
Through the phone. Yes, you got people on Xbox and PlayStations neglecting maybe other people in the house because they're so engulfed in the game. But the biggest fantasy world that almost, you don't get everybody with an Xbox or a PlayStation. There's people who are like, I'm not into that. But almost everybody is into their phone. And even my mother, who's about to be 67 years old, has an Instagram, has a Facebook, has a smartphone.
Right.
So they made sure that all of us were wired into the matrix, people. They made sure we were all in the matrix because we all have access into it daily through our phones.
And they say that once you post something, it's up there forever. They say that, you know, once you say something, whatever, your voice is up there forever. So it's that they say, you know, they have these beliefs that, you know, the FBI is just collecting all this data and making it even easier for you. I mean, it's like back in the days, there was only certain cameras on the street. Nowadays, you go to any intersection and there's a camera.
Yeah.
So you just can't get away with just anything. But when it comes back to this social media, a lot of people think that just because they have 30,000 followers, that they're the man or the woman. You know what I mean? They're the hardest. That doesn't equal you being real or you being, you know, that dude, you know, things of that nature. But they take it as them, they being something. And then the person who only has 200, they're wondering what's wrong with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what would you say to your daughter if she's like, she comes to you, because I've heard this before, on, you know, my followers are not going up. You know what I'm saying? What do I need to do, Daddy? Or I posted this and only got 10 likes.
I can't relate to that. I wouldn't even
got,
have that conversation.
But my friend got 1,000 likes.
I mean, I don't know. I'm the wrong daddy to ask that to because I'm not even going to engage in that conversation. Like if she came to me like that, I'd say we have better things to talk about. I'm not really concerned with your likes.
True indeed.
I'm just not.
True indeed.
I'm just not.
True indeed.
And I'm not gonna show you how to get more likes unless these likes are transferring into revenue. Now, if you're doing something that is positive and generating something that the public needs and wants, then yeah, I would show you how to get more likes because it's transferring into dollars. But if it's just so you can feel
positive
popular,
movement.
yeah, because if you just want to feel popular and it just to stroke your ego, you need to find ways to have self-value other than through likes of people that do not know you.
Now, what spin off on that? Cameras have become very good though when it comes to now things happening in these streets with the cops and things of that nature. And as soon as something goes down, you know, the camera comes. You know,
that's good.
That's the good way of technology. That it used to be, you know, you didn't have a whole lot of cameras around. Now everyone has a camera.
Well, on the flip side, if you want to go do something that you have no business doing, you might not want to bring your phone because the phone is going to be able to tell from the tower where you were.
That being,
you know. So I mean, I'm not trying to help nobody commit crimes, but don't bring your phone, people.
Now, business side. How you think it's either hurting or helping the business side when it comes to technology?
Oh, it helps business 1,000%. I mean, business is probably the primary beneficiary of technology.
True.
I mean, because think about it. How many more entrepreneurs have been created because of today's technology? How many more people have found ways to generate other streams of revenue because of technology? We're able to put our show out because of technology. So all of these things are great for people who previously had no access. And now, what is the most highly trafficked thing on the internet? Pornography.
Yes.
I mean, I read somewhere, and this was in the early 2000s, they estimated that over 90% of all internet traffic, over 90% is X-rated porn. Now that's including business, e-commerce, every social media. None of those outdo pornography for internet traffic.
You think about it. I mean, back in the days, you had to buy it, sneak to get it, all types of stuff. Now it's at your fingertips
on your phone,
and it's free. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't think it would be nothing but. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's crazy within itself. So we talked about your friendships, romantic, business. What would be your advice to people out here when it comes to using that technology to increase your revenue? You said you can do it. What about those people out there who are sitting around and not using it wisely?
I mean, there's just so many, whether it's a drop shipping business or, starting your own website where you can sell your products or goods from so many different services now that will partner with you to get your products out there. I mean, I would just say look into things like that, or even advertising. Look into advertising your business more online, because that's where the traditional forms of media that were magazines and newspapers are a thing of the past. I mean, even books, they want to download it onto their tablet, get it on their Kindle.
Which brings me to the next question. We both have kids. What do you say to your kids when it comes to what it took for you to write that essay, that book report, to how it takes for them to write that essay?
I have no sympathy for students because you don't even know what the Dewey Decimal System is.
Tell them about the Dewey Decimal System, boss.
We had to really go in the library to research. I'll leave it at that. Google Dewey Decimal System. I ain't about to teach y'all nothing. But as far as when they got to do research or do things for school,
yes.
Oh my goodness, you have no excuse. You have no excuse.
There's no reason why people out here shouldn't be on the freaking AE on the road.
Yeah, you should be able to cross-reference things very quickly.
You don't even have to pay for tutors. You can say, how do you do this formula? And there's somebody already out there that's created a YouTube that's giving you a tutorial on how to break it down.
Yeah.
It's so easy. You can speak into your shit and it's writing your paper for you. It doesn't make any sense. But I will tell you this. A lot of schools are lacking on interaction. We're already talking about that. But not only are they taking it back from technology, but the oral reports, like getting up there and you speaking and you're doing an oral report, that is like a thing of the past. Every time I ask it, have you done an oral report yet? I mean, back in the days, it was like every year I had at least 6 or 7 oral reports I had to do along with the regular essays or my regular book report. I had an oral report.
I used to love those.
It was 2 in 1. I had to do the book report, then I had to stand up there and do the oral report.
I used to love those because as someone who comes from a background of rhyming or freestyling, I didn't know it, but I was freestyling before I was freestyling.
There you go.
I'd go up there and do the oral presentation or where you didn't have to turn no paper, you just had to do a presentation. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's me all day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All I gotta do is talk.
Yep.
All right, I know this subject and I'll coast through it and do good. Mm-hmm. But there's people who have to have a certain level of confidence. You have to have a certain level of people skills. And what technology has done is you've made people have Twitter fingers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You're tough online.
Yep.
You don't really gotta see people. People are bold now. They say shit now online that they know there's no consequence to.
Nothing
because
whatsoever.
No one's gonna find you and no one's gonna whip your ass.
No, nothing whatsoever.
You would never say it face to face, but you got that Superman cape on when you get on the keyboard.
You motherfucking pussy. Yeah, go say it to him. You're right. You're right. I don't see them no different from the person who's at the live basketball game or football game, and while the players are walking through, you're yelling from the top row, "You fucking pussy!" Nah, come down there and say it. It's no different. You know what I mean? So it's the same deal. Now, I think I know your answer to this, right? But I'm still gonna ask. I want you to have the world know. Do you think technology is weakening our youth?
Yes.
Oh shit, us.
Yes. I don't know no phone numbers. I know like numbers of people who've had their number for 15 years.
There you go.
But within the last 10 years, I don't know nobody's number.
Mm-hmm. And back then, what?
If I lose my phone,
be done.
If it wasn't for having it backed up, I wouldn't know no numbers. If I lost my phone, it's like a couple of numbers I'd know if I got locked up.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you're the only person I know, yo.
Hey, this is the only number I know.
Yeah, or either, hey, you got such and such number, call them. Yeah, you're right. Because back then you had at least 20 to 30, maybe even more right here. You know what I'm saying?
You had to.
Or addresses. What about land?
People used to, remember we used to have a little black book?
Oh, yeah,
everybody,
most
everybody
definitely.
thought that was cool.
It was cool as shit.
Like, you know, it's
Everybody had
like,
black
you had
book.
nothing but girls' numbers in there and
All
stuff.
day,
You're like, yo,
all
I
day.
got my black book.
All day. Or what about not even know how to go anywhere? The land navigation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Navigation has saved my life. I do love navigation. I use it. I just say, text me the address. You don't got to know where you're going.
You really don't.
You just be like, text me the address.
But there's some people out there that rely on navigation so much. You know, I'm gonna go even further. They probably don't even know how to get to home. They probably go to work every day.
You think it's that bad, Greg?
They that fucking bad. That they don't even fucking know how to get home.
Oh, my
They
goodness.
To work and they go there every day. But all they do is rely on this shit right here, and they like, turn left. And they go there every freaking day. But they rely on this so much, they'll be freaking lost if it go down. I guarantee you, there's some people out there right now that's like, he talking about me. You know what I'm saying? If they don't know how to get home, or either they don't know how to get to their friend house, that they at least went there at least 10 or 20 times. Or let there be traffic. I'm talking right straight to you. Let there be traffic, motherfucker. I guarantee you don't know the back way. You know one damn way. You're gonna sit there until that damn traffic moves, motherfucker.
I mean, technology when it comes to navigation, it's indispensable now. I have come to be, you know, from my regular everyday travels, I don't use it.
True.
But just in general, if I'm going out of town, I never. Back in the day, you used to remember people used to get on MapQuest and print out the instructions
shit.
because
Yep.
they didn't have a smartphone. They had a cell phone, but they didn't have a smartphone.
Yep.
Now, I got navigation in my car, navigation on my phone. I mean,
Yeah, at first it went from the map, then it went to MapQuest, and now it's land navigation. Now, is it good? Hell yeah, it's good. It's good when you're on them long trips and stuff like that. Don't take me the wrong way. But if you really don't know how to get to someone that you were going for like 20, you done went there at least 20 times in the last 30 days, and you still got your land nav on, that's embarrassing to me. That's embarrassing.
Another way I think technology has made us weaker.
Or I'm gonna hit them with one more. If you don't know your kids' numbers by heart, you fucked up. We're lost. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't know your parents' number by heart right now, you're fucked up. You're lost. Some of y'all don't even know your own number. You know how many people I say, hey, what's your math? And they're like, oh shit, man, what's my number?
Because they don't call themselves.
I don't call myself, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I've done that when I get a new number. I've switched numbers before, damn it. It take me a couple weeks.
Yeah.
No, but another way that I think technology has made us weak is with the interpersonal reaction. Not reaction, but the interpersonal interaction.
There you go.
You do have, like we say, people who go out to eat and people are on their phones. Or, you know, there's a rule, no phones at the dinner table, you know, at my house. Those things need to happen because you can become desensitized to the human interaction. If you have little kids who don't go out and make friends and run around in the neighborhood and they're on video games and they're playing online with their friend down the street, and then they go to school and schools get to the point where they find ways to maximize the teachers by saying, hey, you're gonna all teach this class, but this teacher is in this one classroom remote teaching you and you're watching them on a monitor. That one teacher can essentially be teaching out of 3 schools at the same time.
True indeed.
You know, everything becomes remote. Everything becomes, now you have a lot of jobs that they have to say in the job description, this is not a telecommute position. Because they're letting you know, you gotta come in the office. You know, people have become desensitized because partially there's less human interaction, you know, and it's making us weaker in people skills.
Yeah, and it is. And I think it's making teachers weaker in school because I've went to some classes before and I'm just like, I'm looking through the door and I'm like, they got them, why the kids got their phones out? You know, so it's getting crazy even in schools. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a lot of stuff going on.
you know.
There's a lot of stuff going on. So we about to wrap it up. So what's your last closing remarks on this whole thing, on how technology has changed relationships? You know what I'm saying? The good and the bad. What's good and what's bad? What you think? What's your final thought?
Business relationships have become better because now I can have a business relationship with somebody halfway around the world, and it's a lot easier because of technology. We can have a WebEx meeting. I can see you and talk to you in real time. But my interpersonal relationships have become weaker because you don't have that certain level of intimacy, and the textures and levels of intimacy can be as simple as, hey, I'm gonna come and make time to see you, as opposed to FaceTiming you. Sure. I'm gonna come and call you and hear your voice, where I can hear the tones and the voice inflection, as opposed to I'm gonna send a text and leave you to figure out my tone and figure out the little nuances that come with voice inflection. Those things. So business relationships, A+. Interpersonal relationships, it's made us weaker at times. Sometimes it's to an advantage. Like if you are in the military and you've been shipped somewhere where you can't bring your family, you're grateful for that FaceTime.
Oh yeah, definitely. Skype, FaceTime, you're grateful.
You know what I'm saying? But if you FaceTiming your child and y'all live 15 minutes away,
or she upstairs,
then there's a problem.
There's a problem. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that we need to, I agree with everything you said. Interpersonal business, great. Interpersonal, I just think that, we need to know our kids' numbers. They need to know our numbers. You know what I'm saying? I think that we need to have that right there. I mean, you use it. I think you need to know exactly where you live at, where your friend live at, especially if you're in the same town and you go there every day. Don't always rely on land navigation. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's making us a lot weaker. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, at dinner time or you out and about, put that phone down and talk. You know what I'm saying? Talk.
Definitely.
You talk about your day instead of, on Google all day
and realize people, the phone is the gateway to the matrix. That's how they got us all linked into the matrix now, through the phone. Just like in the movie, they got in through the phone, they get into us through our phones. Most of us, we can't leave the house and not have our phone. We will turn around and go back because we left our phone.
I know I have.
We will go back. I will go back if I left my phone.
Plenty.
Because I feel as though I need my phone. And that's why we're weaker. Because there was a time, my daddy didn't need to have a phone. He went to work and he maneuvered throughout society. So are we stronger or weaker through technology right now as a species?
Yeah.
I would say overall, we're probably a little bit weaker.
Yeah, I think we feel lost without it. And that's the sad part. You feel like you're not you, you're lost, you out of touch with reality, society. I think you feel lost without it. But that's it. That's all we got. You know what I'm saying? We about to close off. So live from the belly of the beast. It's your boy Gravy.
And the infamous Ray Boogie. And like we always say, get 'em, but don't get got.
You gotta get 'em on the drive.